Alright, so we're simulating the cold weather because I already missed the hump in Wisconsin of where it's super cold, so I can't actually test it in real life for you because it's already too warm. We're already above zero and this stuff's only relevant if you're below zero. But because there's a lot of people in the warmer climates and they might not understand exactly what it takes to be in a colder climate, you guys asked me to do this video, so this is what we're going to do. Now this gear is only relevant if you're moving. If you're stuck in a fixed position, you're going to need something totally different. I can't comment on that because I've never sat in an igloo before or anything like that. I've just been in way crazy negative weather like negative 20, negative 30, negative 40, negative 50 without wind chill. So with wind chill, Wisconsin actually 2 years ago got colder than Antarctica is. That's negative 50 plus wind chill. So I feel like I do have some experience on this topic, and I've worked a lot of jobs where I was outside for long term. For example, I even worked at a sawmill during high school, and I was outside all winter long, peeling bark off like logs. So alright, let's get started with this stuff because I gotta start peeling it off really quick or I'm gonna get sweaty. First thing, I use these gloves. Now these are not the best. However, I can still move my fingers. So it's kind of a balance of my fingers going numb versus being able to move my fingers. But what I do is I put my hands in my pockets right here. And I try to keep them in these pockets as much as possible because the gloves plus the pockets will keep my hands warm. Then I can do something real quick with my hands and then go right back into my pocket. That will work. These are just some sort of surplus military glove. I don't actually know where they came from. I just recognize the strap on them as being something the military would do. So I assume they were military gloves. They've worked pretty well. Next, the hood. You don't want the wind coming in. The wind is actually essential to not freezing. Now, if you're outside for really long periods of time, you're also going to want to wear goggles because your eyes are going to dry out. Your whole body is going to dry out. As a matter of fact, it just got 10 below, and right here my hand is split and bleeding. Well, not currently bleeding, it stopped earlier, because the cold just freezes the moisture right out of you. Now, the reason I run a bandana, that's obviously so only my eyeballs are being exposed. Yeah, I could run warmer things, but it doesn't really take much. Just something protecting your face from the wind is all you need to be warm. And if you run something thicker, it's harder to store extras. And the humidity that comes out of your breath is actually quite a lot. In about like 45 minutes to an hour, this thing is going to be soaked in the front and it's going to freeze. And then you can press on for like maybe another hour and you just got to remove it. With bandanas, they fold up really nice and small. I'm not going to fold it, but you get the idea. So I can have 3 or 4 of these on me in different pockets, so as they get soaked, I can change them out. Obviously, if I don't have an opportunity to dry them, like I'm outside for weeks, then I'm probably going to be screwed. I mean, most of the moisture might soak into my clothes. But again, I need time to dry it. Next, I choose black in color because it's a trade-off. You can either go light in color, which is going to reflect energy. So, like, let's say you got a jacket with one of those silver linings on the inside. It'll reflect your body's energy back on you and help you keep warm longer. Or you can wear something dark in color, which absorbs energy really well, but it also disperses energy really well. So in the daytime, black in color is the way to go because you'll be sucking energy off the sun. At nighttime, when there is no sun, you want something reflective on the inside, a light in color jacket, something like that. This way, hopefully, it'll reflect some of that energy back in your body. Inside, obviously, you got all types of pockets, great for like carrying pistols, stuff like that. But you need the pockets, especially on your jacket, because trying to get to your underneath pockets are a real pain. It's almost impossible. And this is just a medium duty jacket. It's not one of those big marshmallow jackets. It doesn't take much. Remember, the best insulator for cold is putting a divider, having air between what's cold and what's warm. That's one of the best insulators. So just having lots of layers helps break it up. Now I wear a hoodie underneath, not because I really need it. Like I'd be fine with just a jacket, again, as long as I'm moving. If I'm stuck in a fixed position, this gear isn't even going to cover it. But as long as I keep moving, I'll generate enough heat. And there's a balance between how warm do I want to be versus at what point do I start sweating, because you absolutely don't want to sweat. If you sweat, it's game over. And again, remember, when it's really dry like that, it freezes the humidity right out of the air. So you're going to have to consume a lot of water because you'll dehydrate right out. It pulls the moisture right out of you. But I wear a sweater so I can ditch my jacket. So if I start getting warm, I can shed the jacket, then I can work a little bit and I'll get cooled off, and then I'll put the jacket back on, etc., etc., etc. Bibs are absolutely important because that keeps the air from slipping up underneath your jacket. Just stopping the air from, well, it still goes under your jacket, but I'm saying, like, it keeps the air not moving through there. And that's important. You don't want the air to get in between your layers. If it's just your jacket on there, there's a clean line underneath your jacket, possibly up your t-shirt. Not good. That'll freeze you right out. But bibs are essential. That will keep your legs warm. Now, underneath the bibs, I don't do the long underwear thing. I tried that. They just get sweaty, and I wind up getting cold. I just wear blue jeans. And then if it's really, really, really cold, then I might wear a pair of sweatpants underneath my blue jeans. But for the most part, just bibs and blue jeans, again, as long as you're mobile and you're able to move, is just fine. Socks are also important, especially if you're wearing boots. I tend to wear ankle socks. Well, when you wear ankle socks, it's fine across level ground. But if you're walking across uneven ground, just the way the whole boot goes up, it will slide your sock completely down. It'll be hanging off your big toe. That's miserable. That sucks. Get good fitting socks that go up kind of high. Now, I know there's battery operated socks, thick wool socks. Again, if you're moving and your boots are waterproof, you're not going to have that problem. Even on these light boots, which I typically wear, I wear these because they breathe and they help keep my feet from getting sweaty. As long as I'm moving, they do the job. And I don't even think these are actually insulated. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a nice like 1/8 inch chunk of material. Nothing what I would call insulated. Now, if I get stuck in a position, like I've been in a vehicle that broke down, there was an engine problem, so I didn't have heat. Yeah, I was still inside the cab of the vehicle, but it got really cold really fast. Probably with my body heat, it was like maybe 10 above inside the cab. Those boots were just enough. Just enough. My toes were still starting to just go numb after a couple of hours when somebody finally picked me up. Underneath the sweater, t-shirt must be tucked into your pants. That is essential. That makes a world of difference. If you tuck your t-shirt into your pants, you'll be like, wow, I am way warmer. Definitely tuck your t-shirt into your pants. Again, big difference. So let's recap. What are we looking at here? A pair of gloves. You still want to be able to move your fingers, so I wouldn't go mittens, and I wouldn't go really thick gloves because then you can't get your finger inside of a trigger guard. And basically, all you're going to need is a good work jacket and some bibs. Get yourself a stocking cap, a hoodie, put your hoodie up, put a bandana over your face, and you'll be good to go. I wouldn't say you're, again, that makes a difference. How active are you going to be? If you're moving, walking, doing something, that is fine. You will be just fine. Again, put the bandana over your face before you go outside though, because that'll help the sudden shock, because when you breathe in that cold air, it hurts your lungs. You know, it'll help you adjust so you slowly cool down and you can get used to it. But that is pretty much all you will need as long as you're going to stay on the move. If you're actually going to like crawl into a snowbank and camp, this, I don't know if it'll do it. I think it should. I think. I can't back that up. I just don't know. I've never actually been forced to sit in the cold, not moving at all with my gear. I've sat for periods of time and I did just fine, but I was usually moving a bunch and then I sat. And then I started moving a bunch. And if you go thicker than that, it's going to put a lot more weight on your body. You're going to burn a lot more calories, consume a lot more water. That's already pretty heavy. That's probably, I'll throw it on the scale, but guesstimating without the scale, that's got to be something like 10 pounds, 15 pounds. And remember, that's going to come off of your total loadout. So if your max total loadout is 50 pounds, well, now it's only 40 counting the rifle. Then you add the rifle in there, now you only have 20 pounds to carry supplies. So don't overdo it. That is enough. That will cover you as long as you stay moving. When you stop, you're going to have to build a fire or something. Anyway, I hope this video had given you some information. I'm going to go more into depth on the other kind of problems you're going to have, like with glass, batteries, butane, propane. Not propane I really haven't had a problem with. Batteries, that's huge. Those just don't work. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you'd like to help support the channel, I'll have my Patreon right there. I also have affiliate links to just random gear I can find that's close to that. So you'll still have to get your size, but just follow that link and then that'll have like a brand or a particular style you can get. And then you just find your size after that, and just by clicking on that link, even though you're not buying what the link is actually for, I had a little kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.